I've made many videos on wars before, friends, but this time it felt different. This time it felt personal. Because just until yesterday morning, I was in Dubai with my family. The Fairmont Hotel on Palm Island. The very hotel where an explosion was seen and a fire broke out was located just across the road from where we were staying, literally on the other side. Early in the morning, we left to catch our flight. It was an early departure, and thankfully, our plane took off without any issue. Everything seemed normal, calm, routine. But around 2 to 3 hours after takeoff, we were informed that our flight had been delayed mid-air. The air hostess then announced something that didn't immediately hit me emotionally, but stayed stuck in my head. She said that the United States and Israel had launched an attack on Iran. At that moment, I didn't panic. I had just one thought. What if our flight path crosses the same airspace where these missiles are being launched? Only after we landed did the reality truly sink in. By evening, shocking photos and videos started coming out. Dubai airport was filled with smoke. The entire airport had been evacuated. Flights were canceled. Near Burj Khalifa, drones were being intercepted mid-air. After missiles were intercepted near Burj Al Arab, debris fell to ground, causing fires in different areas. It was terrifying. And what made it worse was that some of my own family members had flights scheduled just a few hours after mine. Unfortunately, their flights were canceled. They are still stuck at Dubai airport, with no clear information about when operations will resume. No one knows what happens next. The only relief, UAE's air defense. In all this chaos, there is one piece of good news. The United Arab Emirates has an extremely strong air defense system. According to official sources, 1,137 missiles were launched from Iran toward the UAE. 1,132 of them were destroyed mid-air. 209 drone attacks were attempted. 195 drones were intercepted. Most of the fires we saw were caused not by direct hits, but by falling debris from intercepted drones and missiles. So why is all this happening? Let's understand the bigger picture. The United States and Israel have launched a full-scale military attack on Iran. This operation has been named Operation Epic Fury, and this is not a one-day strike. U.S. officials have openly stated that this operation will continue for several days. Their goal is clear: to completely destroy Iran's missile infrastructure. Bombings are being reported across Iran, Tehran, Isfahan, Qom, Kermanshah. But the most shocking development of all, Iran's supreme leader, Ayatollah Ali Khamenei, has been killed. This has been officially confirmed by Iranian state television. He was inside his compound when the strike happened. His daughter, son-in-law, and granddaughter were also killed. Several top Iranian military commanders were eliminated during a Defense Council meeting. Iran has announced 40 days of national mourning, 7 days of public holiday. Former U.S. President Donald Trump reacted by saying, "The people who made the decisions, most of them are gone." Inside Tehran, reactions are divided. Some people celebrated. Others cried openly in the streets. Iran's response, not just Israel. Iran did not respond only to Israel. Missiles were fired at UAE, Qatar, Bahrain, Kuwait. Explosions were heard in Dubai. In Abu Dhabi, one civilian died due to missile debris. Smoke was seen near the U.S. Al Udeid Air Base in Doha. In Bahrain, the U.S. Navy's Fifth Fleet Base reportedly took a direct hit, and shocking videos have surfaced. Iran's IRGC claims it attacked 27 U.S. military bases under Operation True Promise 4. But here's the disturbing part. These attacks were not limited to military targets. 5-star hotels, international airports, civilian areas. Dubai, Kuwait, and Bahrain all provide clear evidence of this. Why this matters to India. Imagine this. More than 10 million Indians live and work in Gulf countries. Where missiles are falling today, our relatives, friends, and workers live. India's embassy has issued advisories asking Indians to exercise extreme caution. In Israel alone, more than 18,000 Indian students are currently present. Most Gulf countries have now completely closed their airspace. Flights are canceled indefinitely. And if this conflict turns into a full-scale war, the consequences will be devastating. India imports more than 50% of its crude oil through the Strait of Hormuz. Every single day, around 2.6 million barrels of oil come from the Gulf region. Reports suggest Iran has already announced the closure of the strait. Experts are calling this India's nightmare scenario. If oil supply stops, petrol and diesel prices will surge. Shipping costs will rise. Inflation will increase. The Indian rupee will face massive pressure. The political timing. There's another uncomfortable detail. Prime Minister Narendra Modi had returned from Israel just 2 days before the attacks. On February 25th to 26th, he was in Israel, dining with Benjamin Netanyahu and addressing the Knesset. Israeli defense officials later told Reuters that this attack was planned weeks in advance. Indian opposition leaders questioned the timing. They asked whether India's traditionally neutral stance is being compromised. The most heartbreaking part, among all this geopolitical analysis, one incident stands out as truly horrifying. A girls' primary school in Minab, Iran, was bombed. At least 100 children were killed. This happened during school hours. And yet, Israel's official account tweeted, "Israel has a right to defend itself." Even though the first strike came from their side. How did this all begin? This crisis didn't start overnight. In December 2025, Iran's economy collapsed. Its currency fell by 40%. Food prices increased by 72%. Massive protests erupted, the largest in Iran's history. The government opened fire on its own people. Estimates suggest more than 30,000 protesters were killed. Trump responded by saying, "Help is on the way." What followed was the largest U.S. military buildup in the Middle East since the 2003 Iraq War. Ironically, just 1 day before the strikes, Oman's finance minister said that a peace deal between the U.S. and Iran was within reach. The next day, bombs started falling, a familiar pattern. This script feels eerily familiar. It reminds us of Iraq in 2003, a war that lasted 20 years, paid for by taxpayers, but suffered by civilians. Iran is twice the size of Iraq. The promise again is the same. Remove the dictator. Bring democracy. Bring peace. But history tells a different story. Saddam Hussein, Muammar Gaddafi, both brutal dictators, both removed by foreign intervention, and both countries descended into chaos. The biggest fear now is this. Will Iran follow the same path? Will ordinary people suffer the most? Again, if you want to understand the deeper geopolitics behind Iran versus Israel versus the U.S., I've explained the entire history in another video. You can click here to watch that. Stay informed. Stay safe.